my Godzilla back here, and today we are talking about Jurassic World Rebirth. Once again, today is July 2nd, opening day officially for the movie, so we're going to be talking about this thing one more time. I just got out of my second viewing, only this time going into full spoilers, guys, so that's your official spoiler warning. If you've not seen this movie yet or you care about spoilers, go ahead and check out my non-spoiler review and come back to this one after you have seen that movie. But without further ado, let's jump right in.
Oh my god!
So I want to start off by saying I did enjoy this movie. I thought overall it was fun, overall it was very good, overall I think it was a pretty solid entry into the franchise. Some of the things I say in this video might perceive my perception of this movie as a little more negative. It's fairly positive overall, so I want to get that out of the way first and say I really did enjoy this movie overall. One thing I really enjoyed was Gareth Edwards being part of this franchise. I think he did a great job, especially in some of the really awesome cinematography, and then really capturing the scale of these dinosaurs. I thought that was something that was a little bit lacking overall in some of the previous Jurassic World movies, but I think Gareth Edwards did a fantastic job shooting this movie and really capturing the scale of these dinosaurs, as well as kind of bringing us back to a situation where we're really, really afraid of these dinosaurs. I don't think anything will quite capture some of the first movies that we've seen, especially, you think back to Ellie sitting in that car with the Rex chasing her. And that, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be as scared of a dinosaur as she was in that first movie, but I think they did a good job overall bringing some of the fear back, and especially the size of these animals. Now, it's no secret of this movie, the dinosaur scenes were the best scenes. In my thoughts, were particularly the non-mutant dinosaur scenes were the best scenes. I thought the scenes with the Mosasaurus and the Spinos was awesome. The Rex scene was awesome. The Quetzalcoatl scenes were pretty good. The Titanosaurus scenes were really, really good in terms of bringing us back, I think, to... I don't think we've seen somebody in such awe of the dinosaurs as we had seen Dr. Loomis with the Titanosauruses. He was just so excited. I don't think we've seen that capture the excitement of seeing a dinosaur since that first scene in Jurassic Park where Alan and Ellie see the dinosaurs. I don't think we've really had that just sense of awe that these dinosaurs really can bring since that. So that was really great to see. I thought the intro scene, going back to the beginning, I thought the intro scene with the D-Rex was actually really good. We did see a lot of it in the trailer, but they expanded on it really well. I thought that that actor who gets eaten did a really good job just portraying the fear in the dinosaurs of that scene. I thought that was good. The D-Rex started off on a pretty good note. We got kind of good glimpses of him, but not full scale. But we saw he was huge, we saw he was scary, we saw he was intimidating, we saw he was just like super weird looking and unique. So I thought that was a great intro scene. Moving into the rest, and forgive me if I mess up plot, I'm going to try and kind of hit sections of this movie, but forgive me if I mix stuff up or leave something out. But moving it then into some of the kind of establishing stuff, we move into, meeting Zora, meeting Loomis, meeting Kincaid, meeting the sketchy dude, I don't remember his name. But we kind of meet all these guys, and at first, when they first are meeting and recruiting people, and then the first scenes on the boat, I was like, oy, some of this acting is a little stiff. The characters are just kind of whatever. I was having trouble getting invested, especially my first time viewing the movie. But as we grow with the characters, I started to like them a little bit more. Scarlett Johansson, or Johansson, I'm sorry if I'm messing up her name, but I couldn't pinpoint her exactly. Her intro scenes, she seemed very just like, I was not sold on her at all. And then once you get on the island with her, one person dies, she is upset about it. A couple other people die, and she's just like, happens. And then when they have the kind of the Duncan fake out death at the end, she's obviously very emotional, but her performance kind of jumps up and down for me. She was good, and then she was very kind of stiff, and I didn't love that out of her. But she was fine overall, I think, though I'm not totally sold on her as, the heart of this franchise if we get sequels. Where I do think some more of the heart lies with the main crew is in Dr. Loomis and Dr. Kincaid, Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali. I thought did a pretty solid job. Again, some other stuff came off a little wooden and stiff at the beginning on this, particularly those kind of establishing introduction scenes on the boat. Definitely a little bit of just like wooden, like weirdness, forced backstory that I was just like, I don't know if I care about this at all. But then the characters did grow on you. All of them do grow on you. And then we transition really quickly into the family. I'm so torn on the family because part of me thought they were good. Part of me was just like, why is this family here? They didn't need to be written in. Write in a couple of other characters that are with the core group if you want other scenes, and then have them split up. I don't think we needed the family. I said it in my other video, but I think I need this franchise to stop having kids in the movies. Give us a movie without kids and see how we feel. Because I just feel like the kids give us an over-exaggerated, just inflated sense of like, oh, I care. Just because, you want to see a kid get hurt, obviously. But it just, make us care about the characters we actually like. And you don't need to just, insert these kids to, to just inflate the sense of dread and stakes, artificially raising the stakes. I'm just not a huge fan of it, so I don't love that. And then moving into the family, I thought the dad was a pretty good character. He was pretty good. I don't know why he took his kids sailing through dinosaur territory and then was surprised when bad things happened. That was a rookie move, I think. But I thought overall he was a good character. He was a good caring father. He was a good character. The boyfriend, the first scene the boyfriend was in, I was like, dude, this guy is so annoying. I can't wait for him to get eaten. And then he really, really grew on you, and I was glad he ended up surviving. The two girls, maybe I'm gonna catch some flack for saying this. I thought they were some of the most annoying kids we've had in a Jurassic Park movie in a while, since like 2 and 3. I thought they were worse than Gray and what's his name in Jurassic World. The youngest girl felt very pointless. She was just there to make friends with the Aquilops, who I think was only in the movie to sell toys. That whole scene was totally like, I just didn't, she's not, nothing gonna happen to her. The older daughter, I thought she was pretty much actively annoying throughout 100% of the movie. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I thought she was a very, very annoying character. And another thing with the two kid characters, anytime they were in any semblance of danger, I didn't feel anything. Not only because I didn't really like the characters all that much, but because I knew that this franchise would not touch these characters with a 10-foot pole. I just knew they were safe. I knew Zora was safe. I knew the only characters that had a chance of dying were in the family group was the boyfriend and the dad. Neither one of them ended up dying at all, which was fine. And then the other characters, I figured all of them could be on the table except for Scarlett Johansson. I knew they wouldn't mess with her. I was glad Duncan ended up surviving. I think for me, he was probably the best character in this movie. So that's I know I kind of rambled, but there's where I'm at with kind of the characters. Now moving back into the dinosaur scenes, particularly the non-mutants, I thought all those scenes were pretty darn good. Starting with the Spinomosasaurus scene, really good. Some awesome kind of aquatic intensity, really cool. I loved that. I thought they did a great job. The Mosasaurus was just abnormally huge, which obviously is not accurate, but very cool nonetheless. The Spinos, it was cool to see some more accurate Spinosauruses. That was really cool. I thought it was cool how they all kind of worked together and hunted together. Again, the Quetzalcoatl scene was pretty darn cool. I liked how big it was. It was just a big, scary pterodon. So that was very cool. I liked seeing that. The Titanosauruses were really cool. Just how big they were, how well Gareth Edwards captured the scale, and then also just the sense of wonder that they inspired. I liked that was happening. And then the Rex. One of the best scenes in the movie was that extended raft scene. Very cool. This is going to sound morbid, but I'm a little bummed that we had a whole movie with a Rex and the Rex didn't get any blood. He killed the Parasaurolophus at the beginning that we didn't actually see. But the Rex didn't get a body count. Not the end of the world, but just a little bit of something. But something I did actively not enjoy about this movie was the fact that pretty much with everything, minus the D-Rex because he got the intro scene, and then the Mosasaurus kind of got 2 scenes, I guess. But pretty much once you saw these dinosaurs, they're done. You get the Spinosaurus, Mosasaurus scene. It's pretty extended and kind of almost in 2 parts. But once that scene's over, they're done. Once you see the Quetzalcoatl have its scene, it's done. Titanosaurus done. T-Rex, one and done. They only really they barely tease the Mutodon in one scene, and then they kind of come back, and then the Mutodons and the D-Rex are in that finale scene. But it was really unfortunate to see all these awesome dinosaurs just be one and done in all of their scenes. I definitely did not love that. And then moving into the mutants, aside from the cool intro scene with the very beginning of the movie with that D-Rex, I thought that was shot well. I thought that was well. I thought it was it took advantage of the D-Rex's unique kind of abilities and form. That was good. But aside from that, I almost would have preferred if the D-Rex was just a bigger T-Rex, which we had anyways. The T-Rex was huge in this movie. This was the biggest T-Rex we've ever seen for sure. So I feel like the D-Rex overall could have just been a T-Rex. Swap it out, have it be a T-Rex. It kills the guy in the intro scene. Oh, that's a giant T-Rex. Yeah, let's get out of here. And then at the end, instead of a D-Rex chasing him being a D-Rex, it's a T-Rex. Just give the T-Rex another scene. And then the Mutodons, aside from the fact that they could fly, which was barely utilized in the movie, they could have just been raptors. I don't even know if we saw raptors. I know the Mutodon killed some dinosaur when it was hunting the boyfriend while he was peeing, but I don't think that was a raptor. It was kind of shaped like a raptor, but I kept looking at its feet and I did not see the killer claw. So I thought, I don't know what that ended up being. Maybe a raptor and they just didn't animate the claw well, but it certainly looked like a raptor in the facial structure, the size, everything else. But I thought the mutant dinosaurs were kind of wasted. And again, I'm kind of in the camp of let's get past the hybrids and the mutants and the stuff like. Let's just get back to dinosaurs. That's what this franchise is really about. And especially in this movie where it's just like nothing really needed to be a mutant. I thought, and I tried to call it back in my first trailer review when they said like this island is the stuff, you know, the island with you know, for things that are way too dangerous or scary or whatever. And I was thinking that it was going to be a Utah raptor, because right when they said that line, you saw a foot step down with the big killing claws. It was obviously some sort of raptor. It ended up being moved on, obviously. But I thought, how cool would that have been had they made the D-Rex just a big T-Rex, and then have those Mutodons be Utah raptors. They're bigger than velociraptors. They're scarier than velociraptors. They're faster. They're more deadly than velociraptors. And then you could get, you know, that opens up the opportunity to give a really cool Utah raptor live action design, nice and feathery, really cool. I thought that was going to happen. I thought I called that months ago. Unfortunately, not so much. The Mutodons ended up becoming a thing. This is before we even knew that there was a second mutant. So there's kind of the end of that. Another thing I'm trying to wrap my head around my true opinion on, I don't think I love it, but it's the retconning, and everyone's talked about this, it's the retconning of the previous trilogy. You have this whole trilogy that kind of works in 3 stages of, you know, Jurassic World falling, then moving the dinosaurs off the island, and then full-scale dinosaurs just live in the world now. And you have that 3-movie story arc build up just for this to basically retcon it and be like, yeah, dinosaurs are pretty much all dead anywhere except for like this little band of, you know, area around the equator, probably stuck to most of the islands. You know, I don't hate that that's back where the franchise is, but I hate that we spent 3 movies building toward this literal Jurassic World, and now we're back to just some islands. So the whole retconning, that's a little annoying, but understandable. One other thing I have to touch on is the soundtrack by Alejandro Desplat. Super cool to see him and Gareth Edwards again reunited. They did Godzilla 2014 together, so really cool to see Gareth Edwards putting his style in, and then being backed up by somebody who he's worked with previously in a movie that I think is an awesome, awesome movie. Obviously, Godzilla 2014 kicked off the MonsterVerse. Hopefully, Jurassic World Rebirth will kick off some more Jurassic movies that hopefully take this franchise and continue to run with it and give us more movies that we can love. A couple other little notes that I just forgot to mention in my ramblings. Going back to the little girl and the Aquilops that, again, literally just like felt so out of place. Like, why do you have this dinosaur that literally sees human beings and is immediately like, oh, I'm a puppy dog. Let me just follow you around and sleep next to you and be best friends with you for no other reason other than you gave me some licorice. So that was just kind of, it just felt annoying and unnecessary. And then she names it and whatever. Oh, no, it's helping her stay calm for the island. That's fine, I guess. But then it's like, then she decides to steal it off the island, which was just mind-boggling to me. It's like, okay, why would you let your daughter take this thing off the island where it has the proper atmosphere and environment to survive, and you're going to take it back to wherever the heck you came from, and presumably probably away from the equator, where this thing's not going to have the resources and the oxygen and the temperatures to survive. You've killed Dolores. And another thing I said in like all the trailer stuff and everything building up to this movie was like, I was just saying, please do not have this be another movie where we build up all this stuff and then it ends up being a big theropod versus theropod fight. We've had that so many times before. I just did not want it. I didn't want the T-Rex to have to fight the D-Rex or the D-Rex had to fight the Spinos. I didn't want it to end with a big theropod brawl. And we ended up not getting that. But almost, I feel like after so many movies of getting it, having not gotten it, almost felt empty. I'm still glad they didn't do it, but it was weird seeing so many movies in a row where we have these big, you know, dino v dino fights. So to just have it where, you know, they escape the D-Rex and then leave and everything just is fine, just felt weird. Again, I'm glad it happened. I'm just still trying to get my head wrapped back around the concept of like what I asked for. These movies don't need to end with, you know, the 2 big giant dinosaurs throwing down and leaving one the victor. We can leave these animals alive and you don't have to pit them against each other. We can just leave them on the island and get out of there. But it was weird. I remember, especially after opening night, or the first night when I saw it a week ago, just having nothing, you know, they escaped the D-Rex and it's over. I just remember being like, almost feeling like something was missing. But I think that's just what this franchise, what the last Jurassic World movies have done to us, is it just put us in this mindset where it's like the movie's not over till the big bad falls. You know, we saw it in Jurassic World with the Indominus Rex, we saw it in Fallen Kingdom with the Indoraptor, and we saw it in Dominion with the Giga. So it just felt weird not seeing it. Again, I'm glad that we didn't, but it was just kind of weird not seeing it, like, and getting what I wanted and then feeling like something was missing. So you guys have to let me know if anyone else is in kind of similar boat about that, because I thought I would be like, you know, super glad to see everybody live on the, you know, survive, and I'm glad nobody, you know, that we didn't have to see any more dinosaurs die. I think, aside from the Parasaurolophus that got killed off screen, I think we did see the one. We saw that random raptor-esque dinosaur get killed by some Mutodon, but the only human versus dinosaur thing that ended in a death was when Scarlett Johansson, you know, killed a Mutodon in the sewer thing. But anyways, I'm just kind of rambling now. But yeah, so let me know if anyone else is in that same boat about the big final fight. I'm glad it didn't happen, but it felt almost quiet that it didn't happen. Where does the franchise go from here? I don't know. Again, no post-credits scene. So, you know, the survivors got off the island. Cool. I mean, they were in a raft, heading to who knows where. In the waters that presumably are still being patrolled by the mosasaurus and the spinos. So maybe they get off the island, escape everything, and then maybe the sequel opens up with them just getting attacked again and they have to go back to the island, or maybe a sequel, if we get one, will just completely focus on everything new. I wouldn't mind if we got the three big characters again: Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. I think they can carry this franchise pretty well. So I would not mind if we see them back, continuing to work together, doing something. Again, I have no idea where we go from here. You're back to kind of just having the islands exist, so you're gonna have to find reasons to go back onto the islands. Again, I said it before in my kind of initial non-spoiler review, but the whole, we need to get samples from the three biggest animals that exist, like air, land, sea. It just felt so video game plotty. It was just a little crazy. Like, I was never a fan of that. It totally felt like it was just lifted out of like a subplot of a video game. So that aspect I didn't love, but they worked it in okay, and they mixed in enough kind of craziness that it wasn't that bad. Guys, all that said, I did enjoy Jurassic World Rebirth. I hope it's a kickstart for some more movies in the future. Hopefully we get another movie in the next couple of years. Again, I have no idea where the franchise goes from here. A lot of smarter minds will have to, put their brains together and figure out where this franchise is going. But again, I really enjoyed what we got. I thought it was a fun movie. I hope it wins the box office for July. It's got some steep competition with Superman and Fantastic Four being in the mix. So we will have to see how much this thing rakes in. But I think that's going to be a big factor. The opening weekend numbers that are kind of estimated are very good. I think I saw someone saying it estimated to be like 250 million in opening weekend, which is awesome. I think that puts this movie well on its way to hopefully crack a billy. That would be amazing. But if it doesn't, I don't think it's the end of the world. But we'll see, guys. So again, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on this movie, on the franchise, on everything that happened in this movie. Where do you want to see the franchise go from here, guys? Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you in the next one.
You've killed Dolores!